The modern idea of this philosophy is seen as a freedom to self-express and to find peace in the natural world. A common misconception with this philosophical movement is that it's all about nature, and a follower of this movement is actually a hipster. Those two misconceptions hold some truth, but it's simply more than that. It is now a concept of nonconformity and to live authentically, and although many ideals remain the same, when it was introduced, it was much more complex than that. Transcendentalism is the idea that people have knowledge above the ordinary senses, like touch, taste, sight, smell, and hearing. This extra information was called intuition, and it was believed to be an innate part of each human soul, along with a spiritual self used to connect with nature. It is also the belief that all people are good on the inside, but that society really corrupts them. It was a mix of religions and other philosophies, such as Romanticism and mysticism. A large part of Transcendentalism was a push for individualism and against societal norms. Society was believed to be focused on materialistic goals, and it was viewed as a source of corruption. Education and nature were also important to the movement. Regarding politics, Transcendentalists consider the government's first priority to be its citizens. Nowadays, people commonly mistake Transcendentalism for a love of nature or a hipster movement. Although parts of Transcendentalism are evident in today's hipster culture, the two are very different. It mainly focuses on nonconformity and a freedom of thought and expression. It all began in the eastern U.S. in the 1820s and 1830s. It is hard to determine exactly where the movement began, but Cambridge, Massachusetts is commonly accepted as the birthplace of Transcendentalism. Ralph Waldo Emerson is often considered the father of Transcendentalism, first giving voice to it in his 1836 poem, Nature. Other influential members of this movement were Henry David Thoreau, Emma Curtis Hopkins, the teacher of teachers, Ernest Holmes, founder of religious science, the Fillmores, founders of Unity, Melinda Kramer, and Nola L. Brooks, the founder of Divine Science. Transcendentalism came from English and German Romanticism, which emphasized individualism, a shared trait with the Transcendentalist movement. However, it also stressed the importance of expressing emotion, which was overtaken by spirituality in the Transcendentalism movement. Transcendentalism is considered by many to be the first of America's intellectual movements, as it inspired many generations. It aided the growth of mental sciences, later known as the New Thought movement, and has also made its way into several religions, such as Hinduism. Altogether, the Transcendentalism way of thinking has leaked itself into today's society and has maintained its presence throughout the years. Many parts of Transcendentalism have leaked into everyday life and have become a norm, such as thinking for oneself and encouraging others to be unique. It can apply to others in the sense of nature, individualism, and education, being important ideals to oneself. Transcendentalism is a philosophy of self-reliance and finding peace in the natural structures around oneself. Although it has evolved into more of a modern construct, the simple and basic idea of it remains to be true to its origins.